The Dodgers have not cut Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas, or Kike Hernandez. And as of right now, there is no evidence that a blockbuster trade for Tarik Skubal is nearly complete. But the rumor connecting Skubal to Los Angeles refuses to disappear, and the truth may be even more dramatic than the original headline. Because if the Dodgers seriously decide to pursue the two-time Cy Young winner, Detroit probably will not be asking for 3 veteran role players. The Tigers could demand a significant piece of the Dodgers' future, and that is where this potential deal becomes extremely complicated. The 2026 trade deadline is scheduled for August 3rd, giving both organizations only a few weeks to decide whether baseball's biggest possible trade is realistic. Recent reporting says the Dodgers have been presenting themselves as only mildly interested in Skubal, particularly with Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow working toward returns. But several rival teams reportedly believe Los Angeles may be underselling its true interest. That would not be surprising. Andrew Friedman rarely reveals his entire plan before making a major move. Skubal is the type of pitcher who could change an entire postseason. He has won the American League Cy Young Award in consecutive seasons and entered the second half with a 5-4 record and a 3.06 ERA across his first 12 starts of 2026. Those numbers came after he returned from a procedure to remove loose bodies from his left elbow. The surgery introduced obvious risk, but Skubal has looked healthy enough since returning to re-establish himself as the biggest starting pitcher potentially available before the deadline. For the Dodgers, the appeal is obvious. A postseason rotation featuring Skubal, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Shohei Ohtani would give Dave Roberts multiple pitchers capable of controlling an entire series. If Snell and Glasnow also return at full strength, Los Angeles could enter October with more elite starting options than any opponent would want to face. But that also creates the first major question. Do the Dodgers genuinely need another ace badly enough to pay Detroit's price? Los Angeles already entered the season with one of baseball's deepest collections of starting pitchers. The problem has not been a lack of recognizable names. It has been keeping every one of those pitchers healthy and available at the same time. That is why Skubal remains tempting. He would not merely provide depth. He could become the pitcher Roberts hands the ball to in the most important game of the postseason. However, the idea that Los Angeles could simply package Muncy, Rojas, and Kike together does not reflect how a trade of this magnitude normally works. The Dodgers brought all 3 players back because they still see value in their championship core. Muncy received an extension, Rojas was re-signed for his final major league season, and Kike returned after helping the team win consecutive championships. Muncy remains an important source of left-handed power. Rojas provides experience, infield coverage, and clubhouse leadership. Kike offers defensive versatility and a proven ability to perform in major postseason moments. Those qualities matter to the Dodgers. But from Detroit's perspective, they would not necessarily represent the foundation of a Skubal trade. The Tigers would be trading a 2-time reigning Cy Young winner who could immediately become the best pitcher on several contending teams. In return, Detroit would most likely seek younger players with multiple years of club control and enough upside to become part of its next competitive core. That is an inference rather than a confirmed demand, but it is consistent with how executives have discussed Skubal's potential trade value. Previous reporting has focused on a major return of young players and prospects rather than a collection of short-term veterans. And this is where the Dodgers possess both an advantage and a painful decision. Their farm system contains several highly regarded young players. Josue De Paula currently ranks as the organization's top prospect and one of the best prospects in baseball. Los Angeles also has young talents such as Mike Sirota, Zahir Hope, Eduardo Quintero, and Emil Morales near the top of its system. There is no confirmed report that any of those players has been offered to Detroit. But if the Tigers demand premium future talent, those are the types of names that would make the conversation serious. That creates the real dilemma for Friedman. The Dodgers are built to win immediately. Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Yamamoto, and the rest of the veteran core are not waiting for a 5-year rebuild. Every season in which those stars remain near their peak represents another opportunity to win a championship. Adding Skubal would make the Dodgers even more dangerous right now. But giving up one or more elite prospects for only 2 guaranteed months of Skubal would carry enormous long-term risk. Skubal is scheduled to become a free agent after the 2026 season. Any team acquiring him would receive the remainder of the regular season and the postseason, but no automatic guarantee that he would remain with the organization beyond that point. He is also earning a record $32 million salary in his final year of arbitration and is expected to pursue one of the largest pitching contracts in baseball when he reaches free agency. The Dodgers can afford that type of contract. But having the money to extend Skubal does not mean an extension would be simple. Los Angeles would first have to outbid other contenders in trade negotiations, surrender valuable young talent, and then convince Skubal to sign a long-term agreement. If he helped deliver another World Series title, almost any price would appear justified. If the Dodgers traded elite prospects, fell short in October, and then watched Skubal leave in free agency, the deal could become one of the greatest regrets of Friedman's tenure. Detroit also has less pressure to trade him than it appeared to have earlier in the season. The Tigers struggled badly during May, creating widespread expectations that they would become sellers. Then the team produced one of the American League's best stretches and moved significantly closer to the final wildcard position. That surge has made a Skubal trade far less certain. Detroit must now decide whether to sell its greatest asset or keep him and attempt to reach the postseason for a third consecutive year. That decision could change almost daily. A long Detroit winning streak could remove Skubal from the market. A losing streak could force the Tigers to seek the best possible offer before August 3rd. And if Detroit does choose to listen, Los Angeles will not be the only organization calling. Almost every contender with enough prospect capital would have a reason to pursue a pitcher of Skubal's caliber. That competition is exactly why the eventual price could become extreme. So the real Dodgers trade story is not that Muncy, Rojas, and Kike have already been removed. It is not that an agreement is almost complete. The real story is that Los Angeles has the resources to make baseball's biggest deadline move, but completing it could require sacrificing players who are supposed to define the organization's future. The veterans shown in the rumors may be recognizable. The prospects Detroit could truly want may be far more valuable. And that leaves the Dodgers with one defining question. Is 2 months of Tarik Skubal and a potentially dominant October rotation worth giving up one of the best young players in their entire system? For a normal team, the answer might be no. For a Dodgers organization chasing another championship while Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman remain together, the answer may be completely different. The next few weeks will reveal whether Los Angeles is merely watching the Skubal market or preparing to make an offer that Detroit cannot refuse. Would you trade a top Dodgers prospect for Skubal if no extension were guaranteed? Tell us your answer in the comments and subscribe for the next Dodgers trade update.